Sports. I'm Tom Vassell.
Z Garcia, hello, hello. Aww.
Howdy, I'm Sam.
Hey, and this is one of our annual Christmas lists that we do. We're going to give you 12 games of Christmas. Today we're going to be talking about party games. Now, we try to pick games. These aren't necessarily the newest games, but we're trying to pick games that you should hopefully find in print. Although the games go in and out of print very easily.
Yes.
But at least many of these you can find online, probably at Cool Stuff Games. So we're going to just jump right into it. Party games, the kind of game you bring to
Parties.
a party, right?
Yeah, or just a big,
Just a
loud
get-together.
sort of get-together. My first pick here is going to be Junk Art, which is a dexterity game, a really fun one with lots of strange-looking bits, very colorful game. And you are stacking things, of course, hoping not to knock everything down. But the really cool thing in this game is that the box itself actually includes many different permutations of the game. It's sort of a box of several games in one, And I love it. It's fun. It's easy to teach. You are going to find your favorite one among the people you are playing with. You can even do what they call, I think they call it a World Series, and play through a bunch of them in order.
Huh.
Very fun game. Fantastic looking Junk Art.
Looks like they robbed the craft store to make this, but you'll find that the pieces actually really fit well together. It's very well thought out.
Yep.
My first game is called Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
Merry
Now-
Christmas, murder!
Yeah, exactly. That's very cool. But it can actually take up to 12 people, and there's basically three teams of players that's going on. First of all, you have the murderer and the accomplice, and then you also have the forensic scientist, who is basically his own team. He's the clue giver. And then you also have a witness who is actually part of the criminal investigator team. And they're all trying to figure out who, or rather, pretty much, the witness knows pretty much the person who did it, but now we're trying to figure out how the murder happened, and that's the whole crux of the game. And you do that by talking with each other and asking questions and pointing fingers and doing a whole lot of stuff. It has gone over like gangbusters every time it's hit the table. Really enjoy this one, Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
Yeah, man. Really like that one. All right.
Super fun game.
Codenames Pictures is a game that's basically the sequel to a very popular game called Codenames. You could probably enjoy both of them, but you're putting out a bunch of pictures in a grid, and then you split into two teams. And I'm trying to get my team to guess the pictures by giving one-word clues. The problem is if I get them to guess the wrong pictures, that I'm giving points to the other team, or possibly you can lose the whole game. And so if you like old games like Password, or you just like these team-based games where you're trying to say, I'll say bird, and that means three of the pictures out there, and you have to be like, wow, 3 pictures that have to do with bird, and you're trying to think inside my head, and sometimes you overthink it. It works really well, and it's also a pretty inexpensive party game. That's Codenames Pictures.
Very cool. My pick is going to be Unusual Suspects, which is another very inexpensive game with that similar vibe where you are all sort of trying to figure out what is going on, with one person being aware of who the person who is the suspect. They did something, and there is out there many pictures of different caricatures, and you are going to be finding out, the group is, clues as to what this person, who this person is. However, the witness clearly has a problem because their clues are very strange. There are things like, does this person ride a bicycle? And they'll say yes or no. And the team will eliminate who they think, doesn't apply. And therefore, you'll slowly figure out who it is. And if you finally dwindle it down to the one it was, hey, you all win. If you get it wrong, then the team's going to lose, and you can just pretty much set it up and try again, because it's that kind of game. This is a game that is going to adapt very well to the team that is playing, I think. You can play with kids, you can play with grown-ups. You can really make this game sort of fit the style of party you want to have, and that's what I really like about it. Unusual Suspects, fantastic game.
It's definitely a game where you're judging people.
It is.
They're cartoon characters, so I guess that's okay?
Definitely not a PC game.
If you don't want it to be, I would say, yeah, very much.
Yeah. My second pick is Spyfall, or Spyfall 2. Spyfall 2 just came out. I don't think it's readily available here in the States just yet. But Spyfall is another very interactive game where everybody is handed a card, and on that card there's one of two things. Either it says that you're a spy, or it gives you a location and a role in that location. And basically what's happening is everybody is trying to whittle down to see who the spy is by asking questions. And those questions can either be very overt questions where a very specific answer is necessary, or it can be very vague questions so that a vague answer can be given. You have to kind of walk the tightrope between those two extremes, though, to really whittle down who you think the spy is. Usually, after a few questions, it becomes painfully obvious and comically obvious who the spy is. But once after 8 minutes is over, the round is up, and you either have caught the spy or the spy has gotten away by not being caught or revealing where he thinks everybody is. So Spyfall is really cool. I think it handles up to, what, 8 people? Or is it 10?
Yes, well, it's 8 if you... Spyfall 2, which is essentially the same game. I'm not sure if that will be out in time for Christmas or not, but that one goes up to 11, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this game really leads to some really...
Up to 11.
some really interesting scenarios. A lot of fun. We've played it live on our channel if you ever want to see it. Next one for me is America. This is a...
America.
No, it's not called America.
America?
Just America. This is a game. It's a trivia game. Wait, don't fast forward. It's a trivia game where you probably don't know the answers to the questions, but you're trying to guess on the, like, for example, they might say, which state were corn dogs invented in? You're like, I think it's New Jersey. But there's different things. You can not just guess where the state was that this came from. You might guess what year it happened in, and there's different, and you're putting out cubes on the board, guessing where you think, or maybe next to someone else who you think might know the answer. And you get points for getting it correct, but also for being close. And I like that. There's different versions of the series. The one before this was called Terra. And before that, Fauna. Fauna's about animals, Terra's about locations on Earth. It sounds like a dry game, but it's actually pretty fun. Also, you can... It's a kind of way to play trivia without the person who knows everything winning.
I guess so. If you want a party game that is both going to make you feel dumb and you still get to play with wooden cubes, this is the one.
Fine. Giving me a better one then.
All right, my next pick is Kaleidos. I think I'm saying that right. Kaleidos?
The Kaleidos, like a kaleidoscope?
Kaleidos? Yeah, Kaleidos. And in this one, it's that old style of game in which you look at a picture, very busy picture, with lots of things going on in there. It's a drawing, really. And then you are going to be writing down, while everybody else is writing down things as well, based on a letter that's been picked. So you're finding things that start with that letter, then you're going to compare that list with everybody else's list. This is a known style of game. It's been around for a while. And so right away, I think you would know from that description if you're going to enjoy it or not. It's definitely a more relaxed kind of party game. It's not one that's confrontational. It's not one that's in your face, but it's easy to play, and it can lead to a great sort of end of the evening feel where everybody's sitting down, you're all relaxed, you don't really want to gather around something, but you can still jot down your little notes and then talk about it. And you'll always have that moment where someone says, oh yeah, a monkey. And you go, what is it? There's a monkey in there? Where's there a monkey? It's like, right there, look, there's a monkey right there. Oh yeah, I missed that. And so you have all those moments. Kaleidos is my pick, and I think it's a fun, sort of, like I said, easy-going game.
All right, my next...
It's easy going until someone writes spider monkey, then you argue whether it's a spider monkey or not.
Yeah.
Correct. But
There is that.
Could be.
Yeah. All right, what do you got?
All right, my next one is Bang the Dice Game. Now, this one holds up to 8 people, and it is a dice game where you are chucking dice and using those dice to do different things. You can shoot your opponents, or you can heal yourself or somebody else. It also has player powers in it, where each person has a special ability that only they can do. Basically, there are 3 teams on this one as well, where you are the sheriff and the deputies. Well, one person is the sheriff, and then up to 2 people can be deputies. And then you have 3 outlaws who are basically trying to kill the sheriff. And then there could be up to 2 renegades, which is basically he's just trying to be on his own at the end of the game. So basically, for him to win, it has to be a mano-a-mano battle with the sheriff. The game is over once the sheriff has run out of hit points, and whoever is left standing at the end is the winner. It's really fun, Yahtzee style, where you get to roll the dice, pick what you want to keep, and then roll again up to 3 times, and it's just a lot of fun. The Western feel really comes through. Really enjoy it a lot. That's Bang the Dice Game.
Ho, 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 now I have a gun. All right. Do you like watching Survivor? Maybe, but you just want to watch the voting at the end? That's what Dead Last is. Dead Last is a game in which you are basically voting every round to kick somebody out. Now, if everyone votes for you, you might play a card, though, where you say, if everyone votes for me, I get to pick one of them who goes out instead. But then maybe everyone didn't vote for you. And so there's back and forth. Then you're down to 2 people. Then they play kind of a, will we share the loot together? Because each round there's loot you're fighting for. Or will I take it all and you get nothing? Or maybe we both get nothing. Really entertaining game. The game will morph as the time goes by, as you're like, I'm not working with you ever again,
Right.
type situation. Very, if you like that backstabbing in Survivor, but you don't want to actually be on a desert island or spend, a month, Dead Last is for you.
Huh, very cool. All right, my next pick is Don't Mess with Cthulhu,
I never have.
and you never shall, for he shall drive you insane. Don't Mess with Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a very simple little card game in which you are all basically trying to, you deal cards to everybody, and there are cards in front of each player, 4 of them typically, and you are basically trying to flip over some cards and find the Elder Sign, defuse the cult that is trying to awaken Cthulhu, except for 1 or 2 players who want that Cthulhu card found and revealed, and the whole game is really happening among the players, conversing with one another, trying to figure out who you can trust as you're talking to them, as someone tells you, I don't have it in front of me, go ahead and grab one, because you know what you've got, you just don't know exactly where it ended up. And so you can tell someone, if you trust them, hey, absolutely, yeah, I can take one of yours, great. Some of them are blank, some of them are nothing. You will dwindle what's available. Some of them are great, but that one card, if you find it, bad guys win, game's over. And so yes, this game very much says on the box, and this is true, it lasts between 1 and 30 minutes. And they mean it. It could be over in 1 minute. And then you shuffle up and play again. But it's really fun. It's got a high social aspect to it. The conversation, the sort of, jesting with one another. All of those things make this game what it is. And I like that style of game that's happening right here, not necessarily on the table. Really like it a lot. Don't mess with Cthulhu.
All right, just to round out my list of Amerithrashy type party games, we're going to go with Cash and Guns.
More guns!
I do want to
2.0.
point out, Sam, all your games are either about murder or shooting or guns.
Right.
Merry
Party
Christmas!
games for Amerithrashers. That's what I'm giving you right now. Now, Cash and Guns is a very similar thing where you actually have foam guns in your hand and you're pointing them at each other. And why would you do such a thing? Well, because you're trying to split up the loot that is on the table and you want first pick and you want there to be as many picks as you possibly can get. So you want as many people to back out of this round as humanly possible. So you're going to be bluffing and pointing a gun at them very menacingly because it's just got a click in it, and you're not even going to shoot them. You're just trying to scare them into backing down and being a coward about the whole thing. But you can get points by collecting the most gems, collecting the most money. Each player can have some special abilities that kind of convolute the game a little bit, but makes it more fun. But Cash and Guns is one of my favorite party style games, and it is very just lighthearted fun. Really enjoyed it, so go check it out. Cash and Guns, 2nd edition.
Yeah, really cool. And if you like and you don't want to play by yourself, they just came out with a new expansion called Team Spirit, where you can be on teams and go up against each other.
Playing Cash and Guns by yourself would be kind of hard.
Am I bluffing?
Am I bluffing myself?
So, charades is a very common game. Many people play it at parties. Speechless takes charades and adds a twist to it. You basically have a bunch of words that you're trying to get everyone to guess. Everyone's writing down multiple words. You can't say anything. You're just doing motions. However, if Sam is jumping up and down and we say, oh, trampoline, and trampoline is not the correct answer, but Z also wrote trampoline, we were both wrong, but we get points anyway because, well, your
Sam
clue
doesn't
was...
know how to write.
Yeah,
Make someone look like they're on a trampoline.
correct.
Well, maybe that's good. But anyhow, it's a really fun game with that twist that's Speechless. So, those are our 12 party games. Check them out. Like we said, you can find them. If you stick around to the very end of the video, you'll find links to our other 12 games of Christmas lists. We're posting one a day, every day this week. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Have a good one.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side.
Ho, ho, ho.